Now we are going to add the state that we want to store in our palette. So basically, we want to store for each user what is the balance of these specific users. And the way we do this is by using a standard library. So Rust already have different libraries that we can use from. And in this case, we're going to use the collections, and we are going to use the BTreeMap, which is a very, very interesting structure. Basically, it's a key value store. We can store in this structure values, and I'm adding to my structure. The palette structure must have some fields, which I will call the first one. I will call balances, and it will be of type BTreeMap, string, and U128. So what is this? What is all this thing that I'm doing here? I'm first importing a library to use it down here. Basically, this is what I'm doing here. And then I'm telling to the balances palette that it's going to have a field called balances. And the type of this field will be this tree map, this key value store. And every time you have anything in Rust, you must specify the type of the things that you are creating. So everything needs to be specified. So that's why you have this string as a key. I mean, when you create something, when you put something in this map, the key that you're going to look for when you try to get this thing will be a string. And the value that will be stored inside of this specific key will be a number, because it's a balance or it's a value, and that's why we are using a number. In this case, an unsigned number. When you use U, you mean it's a number that has no negative values, only positive, from 0 until 2 to the power of 128 in this case, but it could be 1 to the power of 64 and so on. So different numbers, precisions. The bigger it is, the bigger the number can be, but more memory it occupies. So you have to try to find the best balance between being able to operate with big numbers, but at the same time don't use too much memory. No, don't use more memory than is needed for the purpose that you are implementing. And then now that we have this structure, I'm going to copy and paste this code from the lesson and explain it to you. So this in Rust, every time you have a structure, basically the structure tells everything about the data that you have in a specific object or variable. And if you want to add functions to this object or different implementations of functions, you will have to use the keyword impl. So basically what I'm doing is that I'm adding to the structure that I already created here a method called, a function called new, which will be used to instantiate a version of this palette. And this is the function that I'm going to use in my main. So in the end, when I go to the main file, and I can use, like when I'm importing the balances, I can do something like this. I can create a variable. There is a new balances palette. And that's why we need the new method here. It's a way to have from outside this palette an instance of it, and I can use it the way I want. And later you're gonna see we are going to add other different functions. For example, a function that transfer balances from one person to the other. So we are going to implement a lot of different functions here in the palette, but this is the first one, the function that creates the palette from outside.